Okay, here we are back for assembly. I've got all my pieces done. You can see in this one, because I got a little cut happy, I had to piece my triangle here, but it still works, and that's how you would do it. You would just add pieces to it until it's large enough to cover your triangle. So I even had fabric left over, but I did not I wanted to show you that there's definitely enough fabric for that piece. So in order to join our pieces, you're going to just join one of the diamond units here to one of your large units. So we're going to join these separately like this, and then we're going to sew them, those two units together. So you're going to line up your pieces, and then if you have a pin, this is the best time to use that pin. Put it directly in here. I'm gonna go grab one real quick. Sorry, it's a new machine. I usually have everything in here, but I don't have one in there. So I'm just gonna test it. So I'm gonna stick that pin through there so you can see that. Put it straight through. If you have clips, this is a great time to use those clips. You can use glue, you can use pins, whatever you'd like. You're just going to hold it in place however you'd like. You can use pins, you can use clips, or you can just hold it like I am, depending on how gutsy you feel, whether or not it's gonna line up. And ta-da! It looks pretty good. Our goal is to make sure that this point is 1/4 inch from the edge. So, and then this should be one nice straight line. So mine's off a teeny tiny bit, but this outside line as well, this should be one straight line. This piece right here shouldn't be sticking up like that. So you want to make sure that it's a straight line. So just like that. All right, so we're going to repeat that again on this side. And again, hopefully my non-pressed parts won't be bad. Okay, now I don't remember which side I did. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I sew that to the right side. So I'm gonna check my layout before I go, and I notice that this is where it needs to be sewn together so that I can get that one straight across the edge to join the two units. So I'm gonna put those right sides together, and then I'm going to check my points. Feeling gutsy, just do the one. You know, that looks pretty good. I'm not feeling as gutsy on this one, so I'm going to check them both. Ooh, they look great. Okay, now I'm going to hold that in place. Clips are definitely helpful for this, so I usually use clips. I just didn't grab them. Okay, so that should be our unit there. Should be a nice straight line here, and then it looks like mine's a little short on that one, but a nice straight line here. So we're going to press that. If I had a hot iron, I would press that. So then now you can see our cool, pretty block. Gosh, that's fun. Okay, and then we are going to, now this is the more crucial one, right? So we want to make sure that that point in the center is going to line up in the point on that center. So you do want, so I usually hold it open like this, and so I can see exactly. When I put the pin in this one, I want it directly in the center of that. So it is a tiny bit off, so I'm just going to move it. Oh, no, not there. That looks good. Right there. So it's right in the point of this little diamond here. And then I want to line that up directly with the point of the other diamond. So now I can rotate these and line up the edges and make sure that that is going to stay in line for the whole seam. So I'm going to just hold this. I highly recommend pins and clips to make sure that that stays exactly where it needs to stay. So I'm just going to wing it here. And I'm going to get close, and I'm going to take that pin out, because we do not want to sew over pins because they cause all kinds of havoc when they get down in the needle plate, or below the needle plate, excuse me. Okay, so again, realigning all of that to make sure that it stays, because I don't have pins or clips. So don't do what I'm doing. take your time and make sure that you are going nicely across all your seams to make sure everything is going to line up, and you'll end up with a prettier block. So here we go. All right, moment of truth. Not bad. So it's a tiny bit off. Looks like I'm just a little far off, which you can see it looks like it went over it a little bit. So we're just going to re-stitch that real quick, and then it should line up a little bit better. So sometimes I will stitch this, if you're really worried about this lining up, stitch it with a really big stitch length, like 4, and then you can check your seams. There we go. That looks nice. So it just looks like when I had initially sewed that, I was scared. So I didn't go directly on the line, and then you could see it didn't line up. But now that I sewed directly on the line, you can see how nicely that lines up in the center. And then you should be able to measure your block. This will be 10 inches all the way across. If you do need to trim your block, like I have a little bit of extra right here, you can trim your block, but definitely make sure that it's 10 inches all the way across. So this finished block should be 10 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and change my stitch length up to, we'll shoot for 4.5. And then I'm just going to stitch with an 8-inch all the way around the edges to make sure that it's nice and stable. And nothing shifts until we get to sew it together in just a few short months. So exciting. Right, that one just looks like there's such big stitches. Sometimes you gotta ease the corners there. Okay, going all the way across. This will stabilize all of my fabric and make sure nothing stretches out until we sew it together. So it just helps your block stay square. Maybe a little too far on that one. Let's go back. Close enough, right? Okay, so there we go. All nice and stabilized block. Here we are. There is my block. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to help. Drop in the shop any day. Thank you so much.